So Kamala gets a chance to go on Colbert and The View, okay? On The View, she's asked, because the one thing they're trying to do with her branding is to get her to say she has her own ideas different than Biden. Then Sonny, I believe, asks Kamala a question about Sonny, Rob. Let's do Sonny first. Sonny asks Kamala a question about how different she is than Biden. This is the answer she gives. Go ahead, Rob.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Not anything.
By the way, they are asking her, hoping she gives a better answer.
Yeah.
Watch this one. Go ahead.
People, especially independent voters, really want this to be a change election, and that they tend to break for you in terms of thinking about change. You are a member of the president's administration. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also it.
Applause.
Rob.
She got the
28
applause.
days to go. I'm not Donald Trump.
Right.
And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like,
Stop it. I mean, you cannot. No one asked you that you are not Biden and you're not like Trump. What are you for? What's different about you? Can a person be more boring? Let me tell you guys. You know why I like Elizabeth Warren on the other side? She's a fighter. Yeah. And she, by the way, her and I are opposite on 95% of policies. But there's something unique about Elizabeth Warren. There's something.
Same with Bernie.
Bernie. Yep. Dude, what is different about AOC? Do you know why I believe AOC is one of those that can have legs long term? Dude, say something, like have some brass. Nothing? No, this is it. Dude, if they hired Apple CMO from the year when they came out with the 1984 campaign, if they went and hired Coca-Cola CMO, McDonald's CMO, if they brought Tony Robbins in, if they put all these four people in the same room with her, she still wouldn't be marketable. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
You get Tony, you get the CMO of Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Apple in the same room, she's boring. Yeah. You cannot make a boring brand marketable. There's never been somebody more boring than this candidate. Oh, my God.
But that's what they're doing this week. This week, they're trying to, let's face it, she's not campaigning this week. This is sort of a fundraising comedy tour. You look at all the places she's went. She's going for laughs. She's going for likability. It says, I saw it referred to as the fundraising comedy tour, and I think that's exactly what's going on here. They're raising money this week. They're trying to get people laughing with her. They're trying to give her something, Pat, that's interesting. So this week is also, Leonard Nimoy, God rest his soul. Remember, all the things in search of. Well, right now she is in search of interesting, because there is no interesting that sticks to her. There is no substance that sticks to her. And right now this is a tour this week trying to see, well, maybe if we connect with the comedians and the pop culture people, maybe that'll do it. This is a sign of a campaign in disarray, and it's a little bit desperate.
And you know what the worst combination is, Tom? Boring and then fake. Fake and boring is at least, like you said, have some excitement. Like I would respect her more if they talk about the border and finance. You know what she should say? You know what? I wasn't the president, but you know what? I will change. I will try to do X, Y, and Z. You know what? She could say, I'm not an economist, but you know what? I would hire Jamie Dimon to do this and do that. Give me something. Push back. Sell yourself.
But she's not thinking that way. She doesn't have any of the thoughts. She is vacuous.
Yes.
She doesn't have any of the thoughts. You could say something without, dissing your boss and say, well, you know what? hindsight's 2020, and we could have gone back and we really could have made some moves here to bring inflation down sooner. We went to the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Now we don't have that. Maybe we could have gone with opened up a little bit of the window on drilling and still not get sideways with the greens. And maybe that would have helped the economy there. You could say those two things. I could say those two things, boom, without even thinking for a half a second. That would give some sort of answer out there. But there's nothing, because it's not on her mind, because she wasn't in the room.
Correct. Exactly. I'll agree with Vinny, but I'll just add one more thing. You said boring, fake, and then the third word, sadly enough, is electable. Because if you look at the polls, it's still neck and neck.
It's a tight race.
Sadly enough, America could potentially get what it deserves. If we actually elect this person, then she is the commander-in-chief, president of the United States, which is still possible. It's within 3 points right now, the general election. They say elections have consequences. This is going to be the consequence of electing a boring, fake, unqualified candidate.
Then you get the puppet and the machine.
By the way, and those people, and mind you, I'm not one of those Hillary Clinton talking about deplorables, but if you are just voting for Kamala Harris because she's not Donald Trump, I have zero respect for you.
Well, that's literally what's happening.
I know, and I get that, but
literally what's happening.
But because
she
Adam,
just said it.
How many times has he said the case studies are in front of you? She's not going to do anything different. What Elon said about her being this puppet, nobody's trying to assassinate her. Nobody's trying to assassinate Biden. You know why? Because they are the establishment. They're the system. If you're just a regular American, rich, whatever, how are you happy this past 4 years? Please sell me. Because all I hear is from people on the left, my cousins and everybody from Cali. Well, the infrastructure. I go, dude, shut the hell up with the infrastructure. Turn on your TV. Look at everything and look where we are right now. How can you in your right mind just vote for her and you can't see what's happening?
Because the reality is most people live in echo chambers. Most people are on one side and they're not willing to change or be reasonable. They cling to their beliefs. And how many people, think about this, what percentage of people actually go from being Republicans to Democrats to Republicans? It's a few thousand, 100,000 people in swing states that change every single election. Most people are fixed and that's it. That's why every 4 years you have to basically appease the people that are actually reasonable and go back and forth.
Rob,
it is what it is.
Go to vtnews.ai. Folks, vtnews.ai. For those of you guys, subscribership's blowing up on this website. We're so happy for you because we use this for the PBD podcast all the time. If you go to homepage, do me a favor, go on the bottom right on election. Go right there, election in the U.S. Can you click on that? 25 days left. Okay. National poll, she's ahead 1.4.
But the Dems always win the popular
Of course,
vote.
I get it. Go to Arizona. So then you have the battleground. Arizona, can you go up a little bit to see what other polls are saying? So 49.7. Everybody has Arizona for Trump, except for SoCal Strategies. Go to Georgia.
And that was a news poll yesterday that we included.
Yeah. So then we have, this is what Georgia, look at that. Wow. 48.8. You got Atlas Intel has Trump by 1, CBS by 1. Fox News has Harris up 3.
What?
Fox
News.
That's right. Insider Advantage has Harris by 5. And then Quinnipiac has Trump by 5. Go to Michigan. You got Trump 0.3. Okay. And Morning Consult has Harris by 2. RMG Research has Harris by 3. New York Times even has Trump. Look at that. Siena New York Times has Trump by 1. Atlas has Trump by 3, 4. Go to Nevada. Nevada's got Atlas Intel's Harris by 2.8. We even have Harris 1.5. Insider Advantage, Trump 1. RMC's got tie. Morning Consult's got Harris plus 4. Go to Carolina. Got it, 49.8, 40.
Take a look at some of the dates, and when you get to Wisconsin, let's talk.
Go to Pennsylvania.
Well, dude, look at him in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, not even close. But Emerson and Fox still has it as a tie.
Yeah.
Go to Wisconsin.
So look what's happening in Wisconsin. There was a poll that came out last night. Quinnipiac, 10-3, 10-7. We are looking every day, Pat, looking for the new polls to put out there. We want the newest, freshest, most credible polls going into our average. And Quinnipiac, which is not normally known as being accurate, they're known as having a left lean. Let's say there's a 1-point left lean in there. That means that poll, 1,073 likely voters, so that's a good number, says +2. It's probably higher than that. Right below Trafalgar, 930. There has been a suppression of polls. If you look at our polls, ladies and gentlemen, look at the dates on some of these. They're going back. Where are the fresh polls? The polls we feel are being withheld because they don't match the narrative of the mainstream media.
Got it.
But you're seeing polls starting to leak, and when they leak, we've got them up there. So come back every day and check this out and look at the new polls.
This gets updated every day.
Every day.
Multiple times a day, this is getting updated. So just go to vtnews.ai. And by the way, again, go to my favorite feature if you could, Rob. Go back to vtnews.ai. I do this every day, probably 10 times a day. Go to homepage, and go to the top 5 on the right. Zoom in a little bit so people can see it. I go to Ask VTAI, click on the top 5 news today. Let's see what it tells us. On the top 5
Hurricane
Milton has landfall Florida as a Category 3. Power outages, several deaths. Oh, wow, several deaths already. The hurricane, I didn't know that.
Yep.
The hurricane has affected Sarasota, Orlando, and Daytona Beach. President Barack Obama is headlining rally in Pittsburgh to support Kamala Harris, focused on mobilizing young black voters.
Good luck.
Time 100 next gala was held in Manhattan, honoring emerging leaders across industries. Notable attendees include musician Sabrina Carpenter, Renee Rapp, as well as Nicole. Okay, got it. CNN anchor Anderson Cooper was struck by flying debris.
He was sitting next to Jeffrey
while
Toobin.
reporting wrongly. You're so funny.
I never understand why they have to show us they're standing in the storm. We believe you
And then
guys. There's a
5
storm. We know.
Is Hurricane Milton has caused major disruption, including the closure of airports and theme parks, resulting in over 2,000 flight cancellations.
But
Wow.
Regarding Trump, what we were just talking about, something has changed in the last basically 10 days. And I sent you this on USA Today. And USA Today, I think, is pretty probably center left. Something has changed in Trump's favor.
Have you read it recently?
Yes, and essentially, ever since the VP debate is what they're tracking. If you go down, the odds have significantly changed in Trump's favor. I don't know if it's a JD Vance effect or if it's the Chris Farley-esque Tim Walz debacle, where he's like, I was in Tenement Square. No, I wasn't. I don't know. I'm just a knucklehead sometimes.
He was
Look
at
at these
Epcot
odds.
and he'd thrown down a bunch of beers.
Thanks, Tom. But Trump has gone from basically being the underdog 10 days ago to now the favorite. Things have changed. And if you even go to Vegas odds, Kamala was 52% to 48. Those have flipped, and now it's, 55-44? So something is happening where people are basically saying the whole Kamala charade coronation, give me some substance or get the hell out of here.
But that scares me because you know what? The Democrats, they play to win, and they're like a caged animal in the corner. Once now that scares me that now they're going to realize, oh my God, I think they're going to have some tricks up their sleeves.
We're about to see an
October, that surprise that they keep warning us about, Black Swan event, something. By the way, if they know that they're going to lose, that she's going to lose, trust me, especially with the interview with Elon talking about these billionaires. Bro, billionaires don't want him to win. Billionaires have power, bro. And a couple of billionaires, a handful, could do some crazy stuff, Tom.
But we can do something about it. Depending on where you live, the registration windows, voter registration windows are closing. Yeah. And so now it's all about get out the vote. Do you have an older relative? And if you have an ads for an absentee ballot, how can you help them? How can you drive them to the polls? Now it's all about get out the vote. Number one, make it so that the turnout is too big to rig, and focus, because these polling are showing positive results. Every week we're seeing more positive things for Trump. That's what we're seeing in the polls. And the polls are being held back since the VP debate, but there have been polls completed since the VP debate that I think are favoring, because I think people are seeing, hey man, Trump made a very wise and very insightful choice there. Look at this guy. Look how he held up with Tim Walz. Oh, I'm a knucklehead. I don't know where I was. That didn't show well. I don't care how much the mainstream media wants to spin it. That didn't show well.
Tampon Tim, what a guy. I don't think he's going to be qualified. Great guy, but he's horrible. He's a Marxist. He's horrible, but I love him. But he sucks.
Election night, we're putting the biggest party nationwide at a new property we just bought. If you haven't yet bought your tickets, get your tickets and come down. I wish I could tell you all the surprises we got that night. We're going to do grand opening. We're going to do the whole, what do you call it when it's the shovel? The shovel with the breaking ground.
Breaking ground.
We're going to reveal and show stuff we've never shown before, especially to some of you guys that want to be super VIPs. To the super VIPs that want to network with other super VIPs. We're going to treat you royally that night, okay? Rob, just play the clip on what's going to be happening on election night for you to come and join us. Play this clip from the new building that we just got just a week and a half ago. I'm there every day. Dylan yesterday going 27 miles an hour in his car, having a blast. But go ahead, Rob, play the clip.
Okay, I got a big announcement to make, and the good news is you're the first to know, and you'll be the first to be invited. So the property I'm on right now, we've been working on buying this property for the last 3 years. It's one of its last kind in America. Why? It's on 11 acres. It's got 2 hangars. It's on an airport. Upgrades of $7 million made here. That's going to be the new headquarters of Valuetainment Media by David Consulting, the podcast, the whole 9. And what we wanted to do in a special way that you're going to hear about this 2 days before I announce it publicly on the PBD podcast, we want to find a way to celebrate this as a new headquarters with inviting you to an event on November 5th, which is election night. A lot of different things people will be talking about, business owners. What's going to happen if it goes this way? What's going to happen if it goes that way? So imagine 2,000 people being here. Let me show you around. Some of you will have a private meeting with me. That's the elite. That's going to be a few of you. Some will get a private tour of the entire office from us. There's a hangar in the back. So you come up here. Imagine there's going to be a couple major tents, 40 feet by 100 feet, where some of the people that are buying general tickets will be there. But over here inside the hangar is where the podcast will be held. This entire thing will be open like it is right now. Inside of it, myself, the PBD podcast crew, some of the super VIPs will be invited to go upstairs in a section that we have that's got a bar, a restaurant, food, kitchen. You're eating, you're watching it from all the way up there while we're doing the podcast down here in the hangar. So imagine in this room, there's 1,000 people, right? While we're going through this whole thing. Conversation, it's going to be from 6 p.m. is when it starts, all the way up to 2 o'clock in the morning. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because a lot of things that's going to be going on. And by the way, do you know why we're not cutting this? We're on an airport. These are planes. We have to hear because right here is the airport. And FYI, Messi plays right there at that stadium right behind us. So you got 48 hours before I announce this publicly. There's 5 ticket tiers that you can purchase. Each one's got more things to offer. But even locally, there's general tickets to buy for just $75. Bring your wife, bring your husband, bring your family, bring your friends. There's one caveat after you buy the ticket. When you buy the ticket and you come on November 5th, you have to wear Future Looks Bright gear. I'm talking Future Looks Bright hat, a shirt, doesn't matter. You're gonna have to show I got some kind of Future Looks Bright gear because we want everybody here to spread the message and the energy of optimism around the world, back to their states, wherever you're going to be. So November 5th, click on the link above or below, get registered. And if you're watching this saying, well, Pat, I like to travel private. Can I bring my private jet here? 5 of you guys will be after you buy your ticket. Then you can ask us, and that's only available to the tickets at the highest level possible to bring your jet and park it here. So having said that, get your tickets, and I cannot wait to see you November 5th, 6 p.m. at our new headquarters in Fort Lauderdale. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
It's going to be freaking awesome.
It's gonna be
going.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm going.
And by the way, I wish I could say all the guests that are going to be there. I don't want to say it because part of it is also suspense, surprise. But there's going to be you're going to be. What are you doing here? Yeah. Oh my God! Look at this. Let me take a picture with it. It's going to be wild. Bring your family. Bring your friends. We're going to have a good time. Anyway, so we are 25 days away from that day. I cannot wait.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.